Hari Om Yogis. Uh, let's start uh, today's uh, talk with a moment of silence as usual. Let's sit with our back straight, with our eyes closed, mouth closed, body still. And let's hold a moment of silence and stillness until we let you know. Very well. Let's open our eyes. Interesting topic today. Trying to think of a title to wrap it up. How about we start with no titles and let the title come out towards the end instead of the beginning for today? But let's speak on helping, of serving, of what we refer to in the yoga centers as karma yoga, devotional service. Today's talk will be along these lines. So we want to help. Usually, along the path, a point comes as you are doing your meditation, as you are beginning to grow, a desire, a spontaneous wish comes of wanting to help, of wanting to serve, of wanting to give back, of wanting to be of use in what you have experienced to be something that is useful, good for you, for your own life. In this case, our yoga centers of the practice of mantra yoga meditation. So you're meditating, you feel this desire to help, to want to be of service, to want to contribute or give back in any way that you can. This is a natural thing that happens as you begin to grow. If you have not grown, or if you are at a certain level, naturally you will not want to help. You want to take as much as you can, benefit as much as you can, see how you can, I don't know, maybe learn, take some knowledge, take some skills, get some ideas, anything to help me. That's the whole thing. That's a different level of yogi, if we even want to call it yogi, of initiate, of beginner. They just want to learn, to take, to somehow receive, to feel benefited. But a point comes where you feel, man, I want to. This is so great, so good, so great. How can I give? How can I serve? It's like a different kind of need. Before you needed to, and now you feel like you need to. It's a little circle going. First take, then give, and it continues this way. But here comes a part of when you are really wanting to help. Now, helping, serving karma yoga, devotional service, giving back, it all is going to depend on your own level of perception, on your own level of spirituality, of growth, of consciousness, if you want to put it that way. The deeper you are, the deeper you go within yourself, or the higher you go spiritually, same thing, the more ways you will see that you will be able to help and serve. And the more on the surface you are, the more distracted by the things of the world you are, the less things you will see to do. You may go to the center, you may feel, oh, there's nothing to do here. What can I do? Right? You won't see anything because you are somewhere else. Your attention is somewhere else. But the more you go deeper and the more you grow within, the more you're going to see so much to be done. So many ways of helping. So many ways of giving back. But now we come to a point where we want to work as a team in a group setting. Teamwork building and teamwork dynamics and dealing with different personalities within the yoga center, within the particular team that we happen to be a part of, in which we want to serve. Now, here comes an important point, which is the sincerity, being sincere in our intentions. Naturally, if you want to help, you want to find a problem or something that can be done better, and you want to be a part of the solution or of the improvement. So let's say simple things that we all have in the yoga center. We come in, a problem or something that can be done better. Oh, I don't know, things are not clean. Or if they're clean, maybe they're a little dusty, maybe they can be a little better. You see it, opportunity for you to give back, to contribute in some way, and you do that. You help with that. Maybe you grab a broom, maybe you grab a vacuum. Things are not organized and you happen to see it. You can help become a solution there. Oh, I can contribute in the center here by organizing this or that. Someone is cooking, or usually the kitchen is a big center of karma yoga and of service in our yoga centers. Oh, maybe if I cannot be the chef, maybe I don't have that level of skill or of competence or of confidence yet, but there is somebody already cooking. Maybe I can help by taking some of the load or some of the responsibility by helping the chef, being a helper. What can I do? Can I chop this? Can I chop that? Maybe can I do the dishes? Like this. So you are looking to be a part of a solution because you want sincerely to give back, to help, to contribute, to lighten the load, to make improvements. You do not want to go, and instead of helping things to be organized, then now they're disorganized, or they clean, now they're dirty, or someone is already, having a taking responsibility of helping to cook, and then on top of that you give them more response. Does not help. That's the opposite. Right? So if you are sincere in your wish, in your desire to help, to give back, then this is the way you look. Where can I be of service? Where can I? And you do that. Simple enough to understand. But what if, again, as you go deeper within yourself, as you go higher in your level of consciousness, you are going to see more opportunities to help, to serve, to give back. You may be able to notice within a certain group dynamics there's something is not right. Something could be better. And you make an effort in that direction to help, to improve the dynamics. You do not want to join a group and then now all of a sudden you are now, instead of making the dynamics better, you are making it worse. So on the surface, on these things like cooking, like cleaning, it's easy to see, okay, I can be of service here, I can be of service there. And if I want to help, I'm going to do what is most useful, what is helping things to improve. But what if now you are part of a group, now you are part of a certain dynamics, the yoga center, the teaching is going in a certain direction, and you find that not something outside is an issue, but something within you is an issue. An issue that maybe before, if you are not working as part of a group within dynamics, you don't have certain responsibilities, it would have gone unnoticed or unchecked, unchallenged, unseen. But now, as you have taken on some responsibilities, as you are working now within certain group dynamics, you notice that in order to keep moving certain things forward or to keep working in a certain way, in a particular direction, this tendency within you, maybe this way of thinking, maybe this way of speaking, maybe this way of interacting with others, now that is the issue. That is the problem. So it's not just some little dust, let me grab some broom. It's not just, oh, there's dirty dishes, let me clean them. Oh, it's not just this is disorganized. No, something is not in place within you. And as you are working with others, as part of the group, as part of the team, that is the issue. That is becoming a problem. Naturally, now we can come to different ways of handling this. First way, if you notice that a certain way of you acting, of interacting, of thinking, of speaking, or of relating is becoming an issue and is related to you, that it is a personal thing, then naturally you will make the effort to make the necessary adjustments within yourself as best of you, to your ability, so that this tendency, this way of thinking, this way of speaking, this way of interacting is no longer a problem because you are searching, you want to be a solution. You do not want to be a problem. And so naturally, you begin to make the adjustments as best as you can because you want to help. And a point may come where you see the help, the best way of helping is to check yourself, adjust yourself, make the necessary adjustments if needed, if you see that that is the issue. And you make the necessary adjustment. Now, that way of thinking is no longer a problem. That way of speaking is no longer a problem. That way of interacting is no longer an issue. Move forward, on to the next challenge, on to the next thing. That's one way. If you're able to do that, great. Amazing, right? You grew as a person. You learned some lessons, maybe harshly. Sometimes you have to learn them harshly. And you moved on. Now you have a new set of skills. Now you know you have learned how to manage certain things within yourself in order to be more useful, more helpful as part of the team. But what if you are unable, unwilling, or you're just blind to this thing? Now you are part of the group, you are interacting in the group. You see that whatever these tendencies, this way of thinking, this way of speaking, this way of relating is an issue. You try to make the adjustments, but the adjustments are not sufficient. Your willpower is not strong enough, or you're not able to sustain the change that is needed, that is required in order for you to not be a problem for others. For your way of thinking, your way of speaking, your way of. So you see it, you make the effort, but that whatever effort, whatever little or much you could do is not enough. But you want to help. Now, do you see how now things get a little more complicated? Because now you want to help, you want to give back, you have taken on some responsibilities, but now your own way of thinking, your own way of speaking, of relating, of feeling, of seeing is in constant. Instead of helping, now you're creating problems, right? And then you make the effort. Oh, maybe I can try to change some things. Maybe I can, maybe speak up more or speak less, or you do whatever you can, but still, it's a problem, and you are unable to make the change. But you want to help. What is what is to be done? Because if you could make the change and the adjustment, and naturally on the outside, as you work as part of the team, you see the effects. Now it's being effective. Now things are moving smoothly forward, ahead. Great. Ideal scenario. But now you see these issues within yourself, insecurities, traumas, whatever issues that you have had in the past relating to others, maybe not accepting authority or trusting too much in authority, whichever way, speaking in a certain kind of way or thinking in a particular, whatever it is that is causing an issue with others in the way of you relating, you cannot fix it but you sincerely, as you have grown, want to give back, what do? Because the problem is not something on the outside, the problem is something within. And if that persists, then now you are a problem instead of a solution. So, one idea is when this you have noticed this within yourself, you can do your best to remain and help and make the adjustments. They're not enough, it's still a problem, it's still an issue, is it? You try different way, still nothing. No improvements as far as you can see. The sincere helper, the person that really wants to help, retreats because and makes room. Maybe somebody else will come along and fulfill those responsibilities. Maybe once you remove yourself out of the equation, then what the harmony will return and growth can happen and things. As long as you're there, you know that certain things will not happen or certain things will continue to happen that should not be happening. So I did my best to make the adjustments. I gave myself some time. Some It's not working. I'm unable, but I want to help. What is the problem? Is within me. I cannot fix it. I'm out because I want what is best, like this. But this takes a level of courage and sincerity and detachment and love. See all the qualities? These are the qualities that need to be developed in order to really help. If you are if you have attachments, you cannot help. Because sometimes what is needed is distance. And but you are attached. You cannot distance yourself. Sometimes distance is the best thing. And if attachment is there, you don't have you're too attached, then now it's a problem because the best thing is to do this, but you cannot. You want to be here. Letting go. Sometimes the best thing is to let go, but you cannot. You're there, attached. So when you notice this thing within yourself, man, if you really want to help you, and you notice that the best thing is some distance, then you do that. If that's really, and also a level of love, which can go a whole other lecture on that alone. But I don't want to get sidetracked. That's one thing. But now let's assume something else, still related to this helping, this service, this giving back. So, as I said, the deeper you go within yourself, the higher you grow in your consciousness, the more ways you will see of helping. Now, you notice you're able to see clearly certain things need to be done, certain things need to be said, certain things need to happen. you start working in that direction. Maybe you start saying some things that need to be said, pushing, rocking the boat in a certain way because it is clear to you that that is what is needed. That is what is required. That is what it is best. But now, this rocking of the boat that you're doing, this way of speaking that you're speaking, this maybe questions that you're asking, this certain push that you're making, or this certain stand that you're taking, this is you're standing your ground on certain issues or whatever, this is becoming an issue. Not an issue for you, because now we're not talking about an issue within. We're talking about you see something clearly, it is what is best to be done. You are doing clearly what you know and what you see clearly without a shred of doubt that that is what is best, that that is what is good, that is what is right. So you're standing clearly on this truth, on this goodness, on this which is what is best. But again, you're part of a group. Maybe others do not see it that way. Now that is an issue, right? Others see it differently. Or they do not see it at all. Maybe they have their own ideas, dreamy ideas, their own desires, intentions, their own tendencies leading in some other way, but you are standing your ground in this, what you know is good, is best, is true. Or you want to push in that direction that is good, that is best, that is true, that is needed at the moment. But now it seems like you are a problem. Others are either misinterpreting you, misjudging you, they're not understanding, they may be even dismissive of you. They may be even be disrespectful to you because they do not see what you are seeing. They're not understanding what you are understanding. They do not have the experiences that you have had. And you're doing what you know is true, what you know is best, what you know is good. But this doing, this pushing, or this standing your ground on these kind of particular issues is becoming a problem. Not for you, but for the team. What do you do? Different options. You may do your best to educate, to explain, to break it down, to express your point of view as clearly, as concisely as possible in order to maybe bring some clarity and some understanding in others so that this is no longer a problem. If you can do that and they, oh, yeah, he's right, she's right, now we understand, yeah, let's move forward. What he said, what she said is what she's doing, what he's doing is the best course of action. Great. If you can do that, awesome. But we know that that is usually is rare that that works because again people are only able to see from their level of perception, from their level of understanding, from their own experiences. So now you are standing on this truth rocking the boat in a certain way for this in this particular direction that you know that is needed, that is best, that is good, you're unable, as part of the group, as part of the dynamics of the group, they're not able to accept or to understand or to respect what you're trying to do, where you are coming from. You tried explaining, you tried in different ways, it's still an issue. And it can be a big issue. So if this explaining, if this doesn't work, it depends. Now the other things to be done depend on your position within the group. If within the group, if within the dynamics of the group, you happen to be more of a, let's say, student, or just a regular group member, you're not really the quote unquote leader or one of the leaders. If what you're trying to do is what is good, is what is best, is what you know is to be done and is needed, maybe, and but this you standing your ground on these kind of things is causing a problem, it's causing an issue, and your way of being is not being accepted, not being understood, is creating a problem because you want, you know what needs to be done in this direction, but the group is doing something else, unwilling to even consider that. If you are not in charge of that group, if you are not, let's say, in command, to use that particular word, then you have to let it go. You have to let it go because maybe find another issue, another something to work on, or find and just retreat on that. If you tried it, but that continues to be an issue, then you have to let it go. Maybe you bring it up to the attention of those people that are more in charge, more in leadership roles. But understand what it means. It means that you see, you understand, you know from your level of experience that this is what is best, this is what is good, this is what is needed. And as far as the group is concerned, they don't. They want to, they're going in a certain direction that you may believe is not as best. Now you have a choice to make. If you stay within the group, now you are in a way an accomplice of helping, of doing things that you know are not the best, that you know are not what is good and what is most needed. Are you willing to be an accomplice in what you know is not best, is what's good and what is needed? It may be that you say, "Oh, fine," it may not be what is best thing to do right now, or what I believe is the, the what is most needed at the moment or whatever. But for sake of group unity, and let's keep working together, find other things to do and issues, and maybe we can come back to this in some time, or Or who knows, maybe if maybe the group or the leaders that lead, they could be right. You could be mistaken. You could take that approach and say, fine, let's move, keep moving forward. But it could also be the case where you see, okay, this is what needs to be done. This is but what is being done, or my way of acting or understanding in this particular issue or issues is a problem, and I am unwilling to do something else. Not that you're unable, not that you are, not is because, not is like a compulsion within you that you have to. It's just that you want to know and to be what is true, what is best, what is good, and you want to stand on that and go in that direction and be in the, and you see that then you have to have the courage to again retreat and stand on what you know is good, is true, no matter the consequences. That again takes courage, takes love, takes detachment, clear understanding. So, as you can see, helping, being of service is not so simple and it's not so easy. A lot of things can go quote unquote wrong, and they often do. And it's a beautiful thing when you are learning how to navigate, how to serve, how to give back, how to contribute, how to be a source of good, a part of the solution and not part of a problem. This reminds me of the different kinds of teachers, of gurus, of enlightened beings. It is said, right, that many people they reach enlightenment, maybe they leave their body immediately. They're just gone, either willfully or just naturally, just happens spontaneously. That's one thing. Another thing is they reach enlightenment, they come back as meaning to the regular consciousness, to their body. Now they have this experience, this clarity, this knowledge, this wisdom, and for these people that keep the body, it is said that there's a division, but really there is no division. One is, oh, then there are those enlightened masters that supposedly, teach in the world and work with groups and organizations, and then there's those that remain quiet and in a cave somewhere and help in other ways, not so much dealing with groups and people in this way. So you see, supposedly apparent division, but really they're both one and the same. Depending on the situation that he or she happens to encounter within the society, within his framework, his country, the people that he's around with, his village, or wherever he or she happens to be. So they reach this level of enlightenment, of wisdom, of understanding, of clarity. Now they happen to retain the body. Naturally, you want to share. You would like others to also have, to realize. But again, now they have the wisdom, they definitely have the courage, They definitely have the detachment, all of these, the clarity, the all of these things. Now they want to help, right? One, but remember, they are seeing things differently, obviously. Otherwise, if they saw things the way everybody else saw them, they wouldn't be enlightened. They'll just be like a regular people that are asleep. So they are seeing things much, much differently from a wider lens. They come and they try to help doing things that other people, of course, cannot understand. One finds acceptance in society. He sees, of course, as he tries to speak, to share, to maybe organize or work with groups, certain issues are going to come up because he's acting, he's doing, he's deciding from a level that people cannot understand. Sometimes it's confusing. He may find resistance within society, but again, just like we spoke earlier, oh, my way of thinking, of speaking, of feeling is causing an issue. Let me make the adjustments, right? He, she, this enlightened being, this master, makes the adjustment. Good, we can move forward. Work in other ways that are helping him or her gain the trust of those around him, the society around him. When he has the trust of enough people, he, she can work in groups and organizations and keep sharing. He was able to find enough people to gain his trust and willing to help and work to see if maybe they can also develop and he can help produce other enlightened beings. Great. So he said, oh, this is one kind of master he's teaching in society, right? But it also may happen, again, he reaches this level, he tries to help, to give back his community, his people, his country around him, wherever he or she happens to be. Issues come up again as he's deciding, as he's thinking, as he's speaking from a certain level. He's not being understood. He's not being accepted. He may try to make some changes to again help ease things he wants to help sincerely. So he makes the adjustments within himself. He's not looking to change others. He's okay, this way of acting, of speaking, let me see if I can adjust. But no matter the adjustments he or she makes in this particular society or environment that he or she happens to find him or herself, for whatever reason, he's not able to either gain the trust of the people or find enough people to have the trust that he can work with groups. So he, instead of keeping insisting, no, I want to help, I want to do, no, he just retreats. These are the masters that just either stay in silence or live quote unquote ordinary lives or just retreat to some cave somewhere and from where they are. Not that they are unwilling to work with people. For whatever reason, they didn't find the right conditions for them to work with people in the environment that they were in. So they just, but it's the same. It's not two different kinds of. The same wisdom, the same love, the same clarity, according to the needs and according to what is they're able to do. Oh, they found a way to help through groups, organizations, to centers, to great institutions. Let's see if we can create institutions and places where people can come and hopefully more people can grow that way. But if they're unable to find these conditions, this acceptance, they just okay. There's other ways to help because again, the higher you go, the deeper you go, then there's many things that can be done. You can just from where you are. If one day somebody comes and is willing and is understanding and is sincerely wanting to grow, for sure they will help. And if nobody comes, it doesn't matter to them. They will find other ways and help in other ways. So I think we're going to leave it at that for today. Let's ask ourselves these questions when we are helping, when we are serving in our karma yoga, in our devotional service. Am I being sincere in my service? Am I solving problems? Am I creating problems? Am I able to make the adjustments? Am I willing? If my particular way of speaking, of understanding, of dealing with others is that is an issue and I'm unable, am I willing to maybe retreat, work on myself some more, allow the harmony to manifest in a way that is needed so that you are no longer in the way if you're unable to or unwilling to make certain changes? You may be unwilling because you may feel that this is what is right, this is what is good. But just like those masters, those gurus, those enlightened beings, okay, this is what is right, this is what is good, this is what the vision I have, this is what needs to be done. Is not I'm not being finding acceptance in the society, in the group at large, in my country, my village, wherever I happen to be. No need to. It is not mandatory. It is not by force. It needs to be willingly. If you have a clear vision, a clear understanding of what is true, of what is good, of what is best, of what is needed, great. If others accept you, what you know, what you believe, what you understand, great. But if they don't have to. And then you have the choice, okay? You can keep working and maybe work on other things. But if you may feel really strongly about this particular issue, then you may stand your ground and apply the detachment and the courage that it takes sometimes. So, what title should we give this this lecture today? Let's call it the importance of sincerity in service. The importance of sincerity in service. Good enough. Let's finish with a moment of silence and stillness. Eyes closed, back straight, body still. Very well, yogis. Hari Om.